love stronger than a locomotive, but only for the FABOLOUS. Sing to me, Mo.
Baby, they can't let you, 'cause I'll save you with my superpowers.
What up guys, Ali here, and welcome to the channel. Now before I get started, make sure to add me on IG at Ali Talks Music, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. First gaining recognition as Missy Elliott's little protege, Lil Mo has definitely done quite well for herself. The American singer, rapper, songwriter, and TV and radio personality has gone on to win many awards as well as being nominated for several others. It's only fair that we take a look at the life and times of Lil Mo. Cynthia K. Loving, professionally known as Lil Mo, was born on 19th November 1978 into a military family. Her father, Bishop Jacob D. Loving, and her mother, Cynthia, raised the singer primarily in New York. The family was constantly on the move, thanks to her father's assignments in various places which include Georgia, Texas, North Carolina, and Maryland. Lil Mo's career did not start until she was an adult. She started out as a songwriter, session musician, and backing vocalist. It wasn't until around 1998 that Mo caught Missy Elliott's attention while submitting a demo tape for Nicole Ray's Make It Hot. Soon after their meeting, Mo signed on with Elektra Records with some help from Missy Elliot. She then released her debut single called 5 Minutes.
Don't know what they told you, but they done told you wrong. Better go wax them again and make sure you hear it all.
The single was initially planned to be a part of Lil Mo's debut album, but it ended up being pulled from the album due to its poor performance in the US. The single made an appearance on the soundtrack to Frankie Lyman's Why Do Fools Fall in Love. Due to her single's poor performance, Lil Mo's debut album was constantly being pushed back, while Elektra Records attempted to revamp Mo's unique brand. While waiting for her debut album, Mo went on to feature in several other songs, including Missy Elliott's Hot Boys and Ja Rule's Put It On Me. These singles were very powerful and gave Lil Mo some well-needed exposure as both songs performed exceptionally. Hot Boys was on the top of the Hot Rap Singles chart for 18 weeks, and Put It On Me was number 8 on the pop charts. Now Mo released her first single, Tada, around April 2000. She later released her first big hit, Superwoman Part 2, around March 2001. This was after many years of fruitful collaborations and features. Superwoman Part 2 did amazing things for Lil Mo's career, peaking at number 18 on the Billboard Hot 100 and even managing to launch the career of a then up-and-coming rapper called Fabulous. Around June of the same year, Lil Mo finally released her debut album called Based on a True Story. The album received favorable reviews on release and even went on to climb to number 14 on the Billboard 200. Based on a True Story did so well that the RIAA had to certify it gold eventually. Mo was on the rise, and I'm sure she didn't know this back then, but this would end up her most successful album. Following her album release, she let loose another single called Gangsta, Love for the Streets. The single did not do quite as well as its predecessors. Music aside, Lil Mo encountered several problems during her career. For instance, she got assaulted with a champagne bottle while performing in San Francisco in the same year. While recovering from this incident, she began a career on radio, anchoring for YXYV FM on a part-time basis. Soon after that, she started working on her next album called Meet the Girl Next Door and released it around 2003. Her album release was preceded by the release of 2 singles, 10 Commandments and Forever, which she promoted on TV shows including Soul Train and Jimmy Kimmel Live. That year, relationships with Elektra Records began to sour, as Mo recalled not being supported by the label. She would later blame this incident on her being pregnant. Now, there was a time in Lil Mo's career when she didn't have a label to call her home. Her contract with Elektra Records expired when Atlantic Records ended up absorbing it. She then signed with Cash Money Records around 2004 and started to record her third album. Lil Mo named the album Syndicated, the Lil Mo Hour. Her second album was supposed to be released in the early parts of 2005. Still, the release was shifted to October when singles off the album failed to generate much attention. Dem Boys and Hot Girls were 2 singles off the album. In a twisted turn of events, Hurricane Katrina ended up destroying the record label studio where Lil Mo was working at. Lil Mo was dropped from the roster soon after this, with her syndicated album being shelved. After being dropped from Cash Money Records, Lil Mo was finally an independent artist and worked under her own production company, Honeychild Entertainment. Now around 2007, Lil Mo released her 3rd album called Pain and Paper. Her album was a huge flop, only selling about 6,000 copies. Sometimes, and lucky her, 2 singles off the album failed to even make the charts, putting Lil Mo in a very desperate position. After her 3rd album did not take off, Lil Mo signed a 2-album agreement with Global Music. It was there that she started to work on her 4th album, Tattoos and Roses, The Rebellion Against My Pain. Initially, the album was supposed to come with a 2nd disc that showcased Mo's live performances. However, this idea ended up being scrapped, and instead she released a mixtape called P.S. I Love You around 2011. She later released the album alongside Bronx Bridge Entertainment, and before its release, she released 3 singles: On the Floor, Take Me Away featuring Mano, and I Love Me featuring Tweet. Now apart from making music, Lil Mo also starred on reality TV. Her TV career gained ground in 2013 when she was cast as a member on R&B Divas Los Angeles. The show premiered in 2013 on TV1 and its reunion special ended up garnering 834,000 views. Around this time, she released a song on iTunes called I'm a Diva. And released a song called L's Up the following week. After doing her thing on reality TV, it is finally time for Lil Mo to release another album, and she released Scarlet Letter in 2014. The album did not do well numbers wise. Lil Mo released a single called Should Have Never Let You Go and a mixtape called No Shit Sherlock just before the album. Interestingly enough, the mixtape had contributions from Da Brat. Even though she was still working on music, reality TV was still a source of income for Lil Mo. However, R&B Divas Los Angeles ended its run in the 3rd season around 2015. Not being one to quit, Lil Mo found another gig, working as a host of the WKYS The Fam in the Morning with DJ Quicksilver around 2016. She ended up being fired around a year later in 2017. She would later work on Love and Hip Hop New York and even showed up on a couples court episode with the Cutlers. Lil Mo also went on to appear on Marriage Boot Camp Reality Stars 12 Hip Hop Edition. Around 2018, Lil Mo announced her exit from the music industry, declaring that she was going to chase a career in the legal field. Now, during her career, Lil Mo had numerous beefs with artists, and one of them was Ja Rule. Now around 2001, Lil Mo and Ja Rule ended up having a little bit of tension. The tension started building up when Murder Inc. started paying more attention to Ashanti rather than Mo. Things escalated when Mo gave a shout out to 50 Cent while working as a co-host on 106 & Park. And this was moments after she had just premiered one of Ja Rule's videos. Angered both Murder Inc. and Ja Rule. According to Mo, she figured that the radio station would edit out the shout out instead of leaving it in, and thought that it was not a big deal that she gave 50 Cent a shout out. Clearly she figured wrong. Ja Rule went as far as dissing Mo on Loose Change alongside 50 Cent, Eminem, Dr. Dre, and Chris Lighty. On the song, he claimed that Lil Mo could not make hits without him.
And Lil Mo, just one of them bitches that ain't had a hot song in how long? Never. You're better off with a dick in your mouth. Shut up.
This angered Lil Mo, and she fired back in a diss track around 2003.
Go against me, man, you're dead wrong. I say your name right now, but I was the one who put you on.
Around 2003, Lil Mo had issues regarding payments for her work on Put It On Me and I Cry. This escalated all the way up into 2005, where Lil Mo filed a lawsuit against Murder Inc., Ja Rule, and Def Jam. The lawsuit was for about $15 million. The two would later go on to reconcile around 2010, and even released a track called You and Me around 2011.
There's no other place I'd rather be, and I don't ever wanna leave.
Apart from having beef with Ja Rule, Lil Mo also had beef with Keyshia Cole. Now the tension between Lil Mo and Keyshia Cole began on the Star and Buckwild radio show. When Keyshia Cole was coming up, Lil Mo dissed her, claiming that up-and-coming R&B singers rely on their dancing skills to get by and do not have great voices. The shots were obviously directed at Keyshia Cole. Now when Keyshia Cole heard about this, she paid a visit to Dream Hotel in New York to meet with Mo's manager at the time, Phil Thornton. I was in New York at Dream Hotel, preparing to do a show. She saw my manager Phil Thornton and my stylist in the lobby and asked them what they were doing there. When they said they were there to see me, she said, "You all are traitors. She is the enemy." Then she stormed off. I heard she was drunk. Now this is one of the many times that Keyshia Cole and Lil Mo went at it. Around 2013, Keyshia Cole was under fire for attacking Beyonce's Bow Down song. Keyshia also took shots at Michelle Williams, one of Lil Mo's friends. It appears that Keyshia Cole did not like the content of the song and felt like Beyonce was preaching girl power one moment and the next telling bitches to bow down. Can't stand when people all self-righteous when it's convenient. It makes them look good, laughing my ass off, but can still talk shit when convenient. Fuck outta here. Keyshia Cole continued by saying, "First women need to stick together, now bitches better bow?" Shaking my head, but it's all G. Chick stays shooting the shit, but when I speak my mind it's a problem. Lil Mo, not being able to stick her nose out of other people's business, fired back at Keyshia after this, claiming that Keyshia is the type of person that gets easily offended. If you take it personal, then she was talking to you. I didn't take offense to it. A couple of weeks ago, you said that she was your queen, and you dissed Michelle. Now, you know, why are you going to put them on the throne and get mad when they throw scraps to the peasants? You can't get mad. Just sit down, get off Twitter, and if you can't handle it, keep your opinion to yourself. Who is your publicist? Now Lil Mo took things one step further when she started selling t-shirts that coincide with her diss to Keyshia Cole. Who's your publicist? Who's tweeting for you? T-shirts, buy one get one half off for Memorial Day only. Total price for 2 tees/mixtape and US priority shipping, $37.50. Clearly, Lil Mo was trying to make a little bit of money from the situation. Now the tension between Keyshia Cole and Lil Mo has resulted in a lot of back and forth over the years. But it wasn't until around 2016 when Lil Mo decided to make things personal, calling Keyshia Cole a thought for trying to egg Bow Wow's car after they had issues. She a thought. I'm sorry. She threw the egg. She has nothing better to do. I want her to get her life together or give it over to God. And I will say that to her face. Clearly there is no love lost between Keyshia Cole and Lil Mo. Now as if that wasn't enough, Lil Mo also took shots at the legendary Prince. During an event at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome, Prince was set to perform, instantly making Prince fans anxious and ready to see their idol on stage. Now one person who was not excited to see Prince was Lil Mo. Despite having a VIP pass, she complained about not being able to use the restroom because apparently nobody was allowed to leave until Prince hit the stage. We had VIP passes to meander the whole Superdome. Dude talking about, we gotta hold the walkthrough cause Prince coming through? Bitch, what the fuck? I don't wanna see him. I had to pee. This industry shit is crazy. Everybody thinking they not human. Man, I'm gone. As if that was not enough, Lil Mo posted a pic on Instagram slamming Prince's performance. Evidently, Prince fans were angered by Lil Mo's comments and responded in kind. No wonder you're struggling to take care of your kids. Look how nasty your attitude is. You're a royal bitch and very disrespectful. Prince could teach you a few things. Sit that nasty attitude down and take notes. Hater. Prince, who was not known to take a diss and keep moving, fired back with a bunch of tweets, and the one that remains reads as follows. I hope she know none of her clothes match. Clearly Prince was not one to be messed with, but the question is, did Lil Mo regret going at Prince? The simple answer is no. Now Lil Mo has always had quite an eventful life outside of the music studio. The singer has been married 3 times, marrying Augusta Stone around 2001. She also married Philip Bryant. However, just like her previous marriage, this did not last as well. Lil Mo filed for divorce on the grounds of infidelity on Philip's part, and they were officially separated around 2014. Now Lil Mo's third and most publicized marriage was to boxer Carl Dargan. Her marriage to him was blessed with Carl Sheriff Dargan Jr. This was her 5th child and her husband's 3rd at the time. Lil Mo announced that she was expecting her 6th child at the Love and Hip Hop New York reunion special. She would later admit that she had already miscarried before the special even aired. Now, Lil Mo ended up leaving Carl around 2019 after he spat on her during an argument while the children were present. She would later come out to reveal that Carl had been physically abusive all throughout their marriage. Sadly, the emotional abuse that she suffered took her down the path of substance abuse. I would wake up, I would take a Percocet, 30, Adderall, all this stuff to just start my day. This is expensive and it don't make you feel no better. I thought I was cool. I was a functioning addict because I could wake up and take a pill. But I got all my teeth. I don't look like I take pills. I didn't have the gray skin. I was able to perform, but my soul, I was a dead woman walking. Outside of the marriage scene, Lil Mo has also been in other complicated situations. She was assaulted by a man at a concert venue in San Francisco around 2001. The assault was so severe that Lil Mo ended up in hospital where she had to get stitched up. She would end up being traumatized by the event and even voiced that the attack might have been a setup. After this, Lil Mo canceled several shows and even put a stop to the music video for her song Gangsta because she needed to recover from the incident. Lil Mo announced a reward of $1,000 to $5,000 for any information that might lead to her attacker's arrest. However, he was never found. Besides having problems with music, marriage, Lil Mo also had personal struggles and life-changing situations that she had to battle. She struggled with an eating disorder. She would also come out to reveal that she was addicted to opioids, and this was around 2019. Interestingly enough, Lil Mo was raised in a Christian home by parents who were holiness preachers. However, her marriage to Carl resulted in her converting to Islam. Now, Lil Mo still drops music. In fact, she dropped a single this year called Broken Heart. She also had a podcast called The Lil Mo Show, which can be found on thelilmopodcast.com. However, it doesn't seem to be very active as of late. Lil Mo gets about 200k monthly listeners on Spotify, and her most popular songs on the platform are Forever, Superwoman, and You Don't Know. That's it for me, man. It's your boy Ali. What happened to Lil Mo in your opinion? Let me know down below. If you have a video request, be sure to let me know as well. Also add me on Instagram at Ali Talks Music. You can request videos there. Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Till next time, peace.